So I have 3 AI developers that I pay full-time to help me build and figure out the best AI tools and systems that we can implement into my businesses, and so I can also share them with my clients as well. And there is 3 brand new systems that I wanted to run you through in today's video as of May or June 2025 that you can use and start making money with immediately, no matter what experience you have, what money you have. They're all very low barrier to entry. They're very simple. And again, in this video, I want to show you what they are, how they work, and how you can build them out for yourself and start selling them. So let's rock and roll. So before I tell you about how great these AI tools are and how I figured them out, you're probably wondering, who the fuck am I? So I run an agency doing about $3 million a year in the medical space, selling marketing and AI infrastructure. I also have a licensing program for agencies and AI agencies, getting from $0 to $100,000 a month. And that is doing about $1.2 million a year. So collectively, both my businesses are on track to make me about $4.2 million this year. And I've done all of this going from 0 to where I am now in the last 3 years, and I am now 19 years old. And now I'm helping people do the same, and I've already took multiple people to 7 figures a year, as you can see on the screen. So I make videos like this for 3 reasons. Status, I have the natural human desire to feel important, and providing value helps me do that, so thank you for feeding my insecurities. Number 2 is to make more money. I know that if you consume my content and you get a lot of value from it, you'll be more inclined to buy my stuff and give me money and work with me. And number 3, connections. I want to connect with cool people doing cool shit. So that being said, what are the 3 AI tools that you can sell in 2025 right now and that can make you a lot of money? Now, number 1 is going to be an AI texting bot for local businesses. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, I've heard about this so many times. I know you have, but there's some methods behind my madness. And the reason that I know this is because I currently have over 120 active clients that I'm selling this service to right now. So very simple, the way that it works is a service setting up and managing AI texting bots that automatically engage with leads and book appointments for businesses. Now, the reason why businesses need this is very simple. A lot of businesses have a fundamental problem with they're running ads, or they generate leads through organic content, or they have some level of acquisition channel that brings them people that are interested in buying their stuff, but they simply do not have the bandwidth or the team or the systems in place to follow up with those leads. And what that means is they've got a lot of people that are saying they're interested in their services, but for one reason or another, they're not booking an appointment or a sales call or whatever the hell their sales process looks like, simply because of poor follow-up on the business's side. And the statistics show that around 90% of leads are going to go cold after 5 minutes. If you haven't heard of the methodology behind the term speed to lead, it basically shows that after 5 minutes of a lead signing up on an ad or opting in, the likelihood of them actually booking in if they're not contacted after those 5 minutes goes down by like 100 times or something crazy like that. And most businesses don't simply have the capability of being able to respond to their leads 24/7 because they're not fucking robots like AI is, okay? So I just want to show you quickly how I'm selling this and other services that you can actually bolt onto this to make it more valuable and make more money. And then I want to give you some examples of how you can implement this and build it out for yourself. So you can see here, obviously this is blurred for obvious reasons, but basically I have all of my clients in this tool called CloseBot. Now you can use a number of different tools to execute this or solve this problem of poor follow-up for most businesses. But I, for my medical clinics, have implemented this system to essentially follow up with the leads that they get through organic content, through their website, through the chat widget that we went ahead and installed, and as well through the ads that they run that we actually manage, which I'll get into in a minute. So you can see here, we've had like 1,858 responses in the last 30 days. And the way that this works is very, very simple. So the minute that a lead responds or asks us a question after they sign up on an ad, come from a chat widget, or we run, say, a reactivation campaign, for example, the AI is trained on their business and the way that their business works, and it will simply just respond and try and book them in for an appointment without any human intervention. This lead, for example, can you send me your website so I can look it over? Certainly. You can find more information about our services on our website. Feel free to browse and let me know if you have any questions. When you're ready to book a consultation, I'll be happy to provide the booking link. It also goes ahead and follows up with the leads as well. If they message about any cancellations, reschedules, it's essentially like having an appointment set up for a fraction of the cost. So for example, you can see this one here. Hi Marisol, I wanted to follow up regarding the cancellation of your appointment. Could you please share your main reason for booking so we can better understand your needs? This one is following up, checking in about your initial interest. What were you hoping to achieve by signing up? And we have seen a significant increase in the amount of appointments that our clients are booking simply by implementing conversational AI into the equation and being able to follow up with their leads. And it's a very easy sale, right? The statistics show that after 5 minutes of a lead signing up, if you're not following up with them, the likelihood of you booking them goes down by 100 times. And the average person actually books an appointment on like the 7th to 9th contact point. So if people aren't following up 7 to 9 times and they're not calling or texting their leads within 5 minutes, then there is a huge gap in the marketplace for this right now, and it's actually very easy to set up. So if I show you the way that we actually have this set up, we set this up with a tool called Go High Level as well. So you can see here, under the settings of this bot, we basically trained it to be a friendly and professional receptionist for location name. And this is just a custom field that we have pulled from Go High Level, which is basically a CRM that we use to manage our clients' leads and things like that, because we also offer like Facebook ads and we build out like content engines for them and things like that. And then we basically trained it on the ins and outs of their business. So you can see company name, address, local landmarks, Google Map link, company website, business open hours. And the way this works is pretty cool because Closebot has a direct integration with Go High Level. So if you manage your clients in Go High Level, like so, you can create things called custom values, which you can basically just roll out across the board with every client. And then, for example, if I get a new client, all I will then need to do is go into that client account and change the variables. And those variables will then pull directly into Closebot, such as business address, company name, local landmarks. And the cool thing is the bot then in Closebot can then see all of that information, and it's basically trained on all that information, and it gets smarter and smarter with time, okay? And then we also give it information about the offer the client is running, such as the offer name, the price, what the offer includes, the booking link, so it can send out the booking link and things like that. And then we also have fed it a bunch of different knowledge information, and we've also toggled on follow-up, smart follow-ups, which means I don't really need to build out any complex automations. Well, we still do anyway, but you don't necessarily need to if you don't want to. And it will do what we call smart follow-ups, which is where it's going to automatically follow up with our clients' leads. Now, where you can make a lot of money with a tool like this is if you're also running, say, ads for your clients, whether that be on TikTok, Facebook, Google, or simply if you help them with organic content. You build out like an organic content engine, an AI that's going to help them generate leads and things like that, which we will get into in a minute. And then you can bolt this on to that service and add it as a recurring service where you can charge $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, because not only are you nurturing their leads, you're also providing the leads. And if you're the one that's providing the leads, say you're managing their ads, their content system, it's very easy to charge a recurring fee for that. Okay, so in terms of the implementation of this, you can do this in one of three ways. You can use a tool like Go High Level, which, by the way, Go High Level actually has its own direct conversation AI tool that you can literally just build it out in there as well. So if you're going to use Go High Level, you can totally do that, and I'll leave a link below where you can get a 30-day trial. Another way of doing this is you can use Closebot or an external tool like Closebot or AppointWise, okay? I believe I pay about $297 a month for Closebot, but if you do the math here, right, if I have 120 clients, the average one pays us anywhere from $2,500 a month. You can do the math on the ROI, or the return on investment that we get from that, okay? Now, the cool thing is about this is the more it's used, the better it gets, as you can train it more on the business, which in turn makes it a lot stickier. And if you can have this managing or nurturing all of your clients' leads, not only from, say, ads, content, their chat widget, their Instagram, that's where it gets really interesting, because then the service that you're selling is very, very sticky, because they're reliant on you to nurture all of their leads, and they know that the longer they're with you, the harder it is to replace you, because it's getting smarter and smarter in terms of the AI, the longer that they're with you, okay? And one thing that you can also do in Go High Level is you can put a chat widget on your client's website and say, like, look, how are you following up with your leads on your website? Even if they have a chat widget, they probably don't have a conversational AI attached to that chat widget. So that's a very easy upsell where you can say, look, I'm going to connect a chat widget on your website. It's completely free. It's going to be included in the service. And we're then going to pull those leads into Go High Level and nurture them with conversational AI. And it might look free on paper. It's kind of like a restaurant giving you salt and pretzels for free, but it's not free, is it? Because you get thirsty and then you buy more drinks and then the salt spikes your appetite and you actually want to eat more food. It's the same thing here, right? The intention is true. We're like, okay, we're going to give you this completely for free, but it makes your service way stickier. It means you get more leads, and it means they're more dependent and reliable on you, which in turn means that you are going to make more money from your clients. And you can charge anywhere. If you're going to be running ads with this or building out organic content or the chat widget, you can really charge anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 a month, depending on the niche and how much money you can make them with this system, okay? So method number 2 is an AI content engine. And you'll notice that all of the methods that I give you here actually tie in and interlink with one another, meaning if you can sell them all together, you can make a lot more money, and I'll get into that in a minute. So method 2 is an AI content engine. Now, what this is, side note, by the way, in terms of who this is best for, I would recommend that you sell this to less sophisticated markets. Medical and dental practices, real estate agents, auto repair shops, salons and spas, home services, cleaning companies, legal firms. They're not going to know what this is, and it's going to be like brand new to them, because there's this big learning curve gap in the AI market right now where a lot of businesses know about AI, they know they kind of need it, but they don't know how to implement it directly. So these are going to be the best people to target. So method number 2 is the AI content engine. Now, what is it? It's a service that uses AI to build out content for their clients. That'll be ideating the content, scripting the content, and also making thumbnails for the clients, completely done for them. And it's very, very simple to do. Now, the reason that businesses need this is because creating content is time consuming as hell. their content probably sucks because it's very hard to actually get views on YouTube and Instagram. So simply by solving that problem, by building out a content AI engine, you're going to be saving them time and making them more money as a byproduct to that, because they're going to be getting more views and typically going to be getting more people to buy their stuff, because eyeballs equals attention. Now, the way that you can do this is we use a tool called Poppy AI internally to sell this tool to our clients, and also to help my clients sell the same thing to their clients as well. So if I just show you an example of how you could build this out for somebody else, and then we can just walk through
overlooked business opportunities. And the best part,
so basically what we first need to do is we need to create a content agent.
I'm going to walk you through in this video step by step how to use Google Maps,
tonality, all of that stuff. And it also has the ability to create really good content around their competitors. So the way that I did this for my content and the way that I'm making this video for you right now is that exact same thing. So basically what you can do is in this tool called Poppy AI, it's essentially a Miro board, like a visual representation of ChatGPT, and it can also watch and read transcripts of videos without you having to dissect the video and copy it in. So the way that we can do this is if we just start from scratch. Let's say we make a completely new board. You've got a new client that you've signed with this content AI engine system. Let's call it the content AI engine. What we need is we need a number of different groups. So group number one is going to be, and by the way, a group is like a subset of information that we're going to feed to the AI. So group number one is going to be my speaking style and YouTube content, okay? And this one is basically what we're going to train the AI on. This is how I speak, or this is how my client speaks, and I need you to replicate this tonality, language, humor, etc., etc. So it actually sounds like your client, because the problem with a lot of AI is it doesn't actually sound like the person that is writing it, right? And that's the problem why a lot of people don't use it. So what we can then simply do is we can just then go to YouTube. If I pull up my YouTube channel here, and let's say I go ahead and open up my last like 8 videos, and then what I can do is I can then get those videos and just put them in to ChatGPT or Poppy AI, like so, just so it knows exactly how I speak. So if we put that in, put this one in, put this one in. Those people, if you try and sell them in the way that everybody else, put this one in. You get the point, right? We'll stop there just for the purpose of this video. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it example content in my speaking style. Now, if I've made any resources in the past, I might also go ahead and input those in terms of the way that I speak. So the more information that you can give the AI on how the client, or you, in your case, if you're going to be the one creating this, on how you speak and how your client speaks, the better. And then what you can do is you can add like notes on each of these. So for example, video of me speaking about systems that run my 7-figure agency. And then you can just do that to elaborate on each of these videos to give it more context on what it's actually about, okay? The next one that we want to go ahead and create is keywords and competitors to model. And the reason this is important is because if we're going to be ideating content, we want to be looking at keywords like what's popping up in my niche, and then we also want to be looking at competitors to model, because good artists copy, great artists steal, right? And we want to know what our competitors are doing. So let's say, for example, my client was in the AI infrastructure niche, meaning they were selling an AI service and I was helping them ideate and create content. I might then type in keywords around that niche, for example, AI infrastructure, which will then give me all of the best ranked videos on the term AI infrastructure. And then I can just copy this URL, put it in, and say top ranked AI keyword, which is AI infrastructure, as an example, right? And then I can just go through and put in all of the keywords. So another one might be like selling AI to businesses. That might be another like key phrase that a lot of people are looking at. And then I can put that in too, and then I can elaborate on what it is. And then I can then go ahead and put in some competitors. So I might come here and see like, who the hell is making really good videos on selling AI? Okay, this guy, this was an outlier. And by the way, you can also get this tool called vidIQ that will tell you if a video is an outlier. Okay, I know Nick, he's doing a lot with AI right now. We've got Pavlo, we've got this guy. So then what we can do with these channels is we can just put them in like so. And the AI then has the ability to scan these channels, and we can actually ask it like, hey, what was the best performing video? Can we model that? Can we ideate a new idea around that? Okay, like so. Then once we've done that, we might just want to make one more, which is like trainings on how to actually script and ideate videos. So in here, I might then make one on like trainings on how to make good content. And then what I can do is I can come in here and like how to write good YouTube titles as an example. So this one is a really good video, apparently, on how to make your YouTube titles way better. So I can put this in and just call this training on making YouTube titles. And then I can find one on like how to write good YouTube scripts, how to write scripts for YouTube. And then we can put this in. How to write good YouTube scripts. And then finally, we might want one on thumbnails. Now, I've got a different tool for thumbnails, so we can get into that into a minute, but that's pretty much everything you need. And then from there, you can then make a chat like so. We can attach these resources to the chat. And then all we simply need is a prompt based on all the information that I've just gone ahead and put in. So I might then just go to ChatGPT like so and just say, I need a prompt going into an AI agent on scripting and ideating YouTube content for my client selling AI infrastructure to agency owners, as an example. And you can see I've done this here and I've made it a little bit more extensive for myself personally, just because the longer you use it, the smarter it's going to get, the more you can elaborate and improve on it. But I've done the exact same thing. And you can see here for me, I've got one on like how to write titles for YouTube, and I've got like 6 different videos. I've got one on how to write good scripts for YouTube. One thing you can also do, which I actually forgot to mention, is you can make one final group here on like offer and ICP information. And what this basically means is like if your client sells a service, which they probably do if they do content, you can put in their offer and ICP information. So for me, I have an advanced market research document. I have a breakdown of my current service and deliverables. I have my video sales letter that I've gone ahead and put in here. And I've put in all of the content inside of my program in here. So it has full context and clarity around who I serve, how I serve them, and what problems I solve for them, okay? And we can actually use AI to do all of that market research too, which is actually one of the next tools I'm gonna show you. So that is pretty much the way that you can build this. And then in terms of the prompts, we can see here it's gone ahead and given us a prompt like so. And then what we can do is we can then also just give it some context on the resources. So this is what I like to do with AI, context on the resources you have been given. And then you can be like, the keywords and competitors to model section are example best ranking phrases in my market and other competitor YouTube channels. You should use this when ideating content to model their best performing content. And then we would do the same thing for all of these groups, just basically give the AI elaboration on what it actually does. And then we can just tell it like, ideate 10 new YouTube videos for me in table format. And the way that I like to ideate YouTube videos, if I can show you, I actually did it with this video right now, is I like to put them in a type of format like title, awareness level, thumbnail, overall idea, and inspiration. And then I can grade them based on idea score. So we can see here, if I just go ahead and put this in, format with the following columns. And then from there, we can then start ideating content for your client. And once we've created the AI, the cool thing is we don't need to create it again. All we need to do is just improve on it and elaborate on it and continue to train it. And then boom, you've already got an AI that can ideate your content for you, like so. So for example, the specific niche you're targeting, main problem, okay, there we go, boom. It's just asking for a little bit more information about who we target and things like that. Once we've done that, it can then start to ideate content, script the content, etc., etc. And this is things that you could either sell as a one-time infrastructure, or you can sell it as a recurring service where you actually just build this out for them and then you use it for them. So you ideate the content, you script it, you give them it, and boom, that's a recurring service that you can charge a couple of $1,000s a month for. Now, that's for ideation and script creation. Now, what about thumbnails? Now, there's a tool that I use for this called pixels.com. And the way that this works is you can pretty much use AI to make thumbnails in a matter of seconds. So if we just do this as an example here, you can actually create a persona, which you can see that I have here, which basically you put in images of yourself and things like that. You can link a thumbnail or a YouTube video that you want to replicate, and then you can actually just create thumbnails in this tool directly. Now, I'm not going to do it for the purpose of this video, but I think you get the point. It's very self-explanatory in the way that you can do this, okay? So that is the second methodology that you can make money with by building out an AI content engine for your clients. Now, the third one is AI ad creation and market research analysis. Now, this is where you can have an AI that can gather, analyze, and synthesize information into professional reports and actionable insights for businesses on their competition and market, which can be used as like a lead magnet, meaning something that's going to get somebody interested. And then you can use that data to script out video ads to create their image ads using images and video ads using AI. So this is where you're kind of turning into like a full stack AI agency, right? Or like a marketing agency where you can do frequent or monthly market research analysis on their competitors, on their niche, on who they serve, on what the problems their niche has. And then you can take their competitors, model their ads, script them, create the image ads. And then all you need to do is either you can sell that to the client directly, meaning the AI, if you just want like a one-time service, or what I would do personally is I would then sell that as a recurring service. And if I was you, which I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute in the way that I'm doing this and selling it for thousands of dollars every month, is I would combine all three of these methodologies because that's where you can make real money, where you have a conversational AI and then you have the ways of generating the leads the conversational AI is going to be used for, where you would then run and manage their ads and script them out using the AI ad creation bot. And then you would then use the AI content engine to feed the acquisition channel as well to give the conversational AI leads to nurture. Okay, so to give you an example of how you can use the market research analysis tool, this took me a couple of hours to build out with my team. And basically the way that it works is you can create this for your clients using N8N. So if you just go to, say, N8N templates, which, by the way, when people say they're selling an AI infrastructure, a lot of the time this is what they're doing. You can come in here and type in like market research. But the cool thing is not a lot of people know about this. You can sell it for thousands of dollars. You can see here, like market research analysis, if I type this in as a template, there is so many of them on like, okay, hourly crypto market analysis that you could sell to crypto guys, financial market data analysis tool. We can type in like Facebook market analysis, monitor and track brand sentiment on Facebook groups. We can even type in like competitor analysis as an example. AI competitor review analyzer with Dumpling AI, GPT, and Google Sheets. If we click into this, we can literally just click use for free, copy template, and then if we use N8N, which is a very high leverage skill that you can learn if you're just starting out, you're trying to get to 10K a month, we can create a workflow here. We can go in, we can click import URL, copy the URL in, import, and boom, look at this shit. We've already got like a full stack AI that we can literally use to do an AI analysis for our clients. And we can sell this for thousands of dollars, okay? So that is a prime example of how we pretty much create this. And basically the way that it works is the business can come in and we actually do this for our clients and give them it just to provide a bunch of value when they onboard. We'll fill out information like, oh, what niche do you serve? What services? Who's your ideal customer? And then once they fill this out, they then automatically get an email with a bunch of different information, which I can show you in a minute. So you can see here as an example, I had a client of mine that runs a tree removal agency, running Facebook ads and nurturing their leads with AI to go ahead and fill this out. And it did a full stack competitor, like an offer creation analysis on like, here's a service and outcome, here's the painful problem your niche faces, desired result, delivery method, here's your unique selling point, here's the ideal client, here's your competitor weaknesses to beat, here's the pricing model you should run, here's the messaging that you should run in your ads and your outreach to get clients. It also did a full market research report on like TAM, the total addressable market, service available market, and the serviceable obtainable market, customer avatars from firmographics, psychographics, key decision-making personas, average marketing budgets, current state, desired state. It even found competitors, direct and indirect. It gave us messaging headlines that we could use in our marketing. And then it did a full stack competitive intelligence report going over literally names to the competitors in his industry with links to their websites. So he can literally just find all of his competitors, and then with those competitors, he can look into their ads, see what they're doing, and he can model it. Because if somebody has been in the industry for 10, 20, 30 years, chances are what they're doing is already working, right? So that's number one in terms of the market research agent. And then what you can also do with that is you can then use that information to help create ads for an agency or an industry. Now, the way that we can do this is very, very simple. If you just simply go to Google and type in Facebook ads library. So for example, if on this competitor research audit, it said my agency, for example, and it said, okay, you need to type in Pinpoint Scaling, Cameron England, which is the agency that I run. You'd be able to see me on there as an example. You'd then be able to see all the ads that I'm running, like so. And then all we need to do is we can then take this ad as an example. Like, let's say, okay, my competitor's been running this ad. It's been running for 75 days. If an ad's been running for more than 7 days, it's performing. So we can take this in our competitor's niche, we can download it or just screenshot it, and we can do one or two things. I like using this tool called Ideogram for things like this. And it's very, like, it's a better version of ChatGPT for creating images. So I can just put this in. We need to upgrade to Plus. Okay, I'm going to show you the free version because it's going to make more sense. I need to, we can even just use ChatGPT. It doesn't really matter that much. So what we can do is we can upload the file. We can get that image and say, I serve tree removal companies, guaranteeing them 15 high-ticket jobs in 30 days or they don't pay. Can you model this type of ad that is performing in a different industry, but do it in my industry? And then boom, you can start creating image ads for your clients, start running their ads, and start charging them $1,000, $2,000 a month for something like this. So we can see here it's giving us a little bit more information. I'm just going to tell it, no, I need an image. Sometimes ChatGPT can be a pain in the arse. But I would also use this tool too. I need a B2B ad targeting tree removal companies, guaranteeing them 15 high-paying tree removal jobs in 30 days or they don't pay, as an example. So we can actually just split test both. So we can see this one, because Image AI is getting really fucking good now. Like, the text is good. We can literally just launch this ad and start printing money for our client, or you can even do it for you if you want to start a bloody ad agency, right? Only pay if you land 15 plus high-ticket tree removal jobs. Very easy. And then on Ideogram, we can see the reason that I like Ideogram is because it does 4 images at a time. Look how good that is. Boom, 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 boom. You can sell that to your damn clients. Look how good of a fucking ad that is. It's insane. So I hope this video was valuable and it kind of opened your eyes to the different methodologies of making money with AI. And if you want my help doing any of the things that I've showed you in this video, I do have something to sell you. Check out the link below if you're 0 to 20, or even if you're trying to go from 20 to 100K, check out the link and I'll see you then. Love you, bye.